गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। थोड़ा सा ये कम कर देना बिकॉज इट्स टू हॉट आउट हियर, वेरी हॉट। We are on the 35th verse. Last week we concluded with what is the state of Jivan Mukta, what is the state of a person who is liberated, and in that it was told vritti vyaptyatvatvanevastu phala vyapti katham bhavet swaprakasha swarupatvat siddhatvat chidatmanah, that this the state of Jivan Mukta is that where there is no phala vyapti, means there is no consequent thought being born as a result of any thought, and there is only vritti vyapti, there is only the thought and there is no what do you call story created after that, and the self determined, there can only be vritti vyapti, the phala vyapti cannot exist. And this we explained last week, that the last thought that this Videha Mukta has is I am, and even that I am does not give birth to I am the body, or I am the mind, or I am the intellect, or I am the husband, or I am the wife, or I am the employee, or I am the seeker, or I am the one who wants to get liberated. These are all the consequent thoughts. But the original is I am, and when the seeker comes to recognize that I am, something has to be there, just I am sometimes is not enough. So what is I am? I am Brahman, and in that thought the I also is consciousness, Brahman is also consciousness. And when both consciousness, so I am Brahman, so I the consciousness am the Brahman the consciousness. Now how can there be two consciousnesses? There cannot be. And therefore that thought, when you come and abide in that thought, or are contemplating on that, on the consequence of that thought, what does this thought mean? That consciousness, the I the consciousness, am the consciousness which is Brahman. Brahman represents the totality, I represents the individuality. In that contemplation, this last thought also drops, meaning there is no phala vyapti, there is no consequent thought, and such is the state of the Jivan Mukta Purusha. Now the following state of, and it was told that this liberated person, this Jivan Mukta, he is not conditioned by the knowledge of things, activity, delusion, etc. He neither shies away from nor seeks any activity. So he is living in the world, he cognizes the world, but he doesn't, he is like the mirror, and he is ready to take the world on. He is not etching, create a separate entity of himself other than the world. He could be such a person can be a householder, he can be a sannyasi, he can be from anyone in the society. And many of the people will not even know that this fellow is liberated. Such is this person. Now the following shloka now proceeds to describe the Videha Mukta state. अर्थादर्थे यथा वृत्तिः अर्थादर्थे यथा वृत्तिः गन्तुं चलति नान्तरे गन्तुं चलति नान्तरे अनाधारा निर्विकारा अनाधारा निर्विकारा सा दशा सोन्मनि स्मृता सा दशा सोन्मनि स्मृता. As there are modifications in the thoughts when they pass from object to object, such modifications are absent in the absence of the object. This state of thought is called anadhara and nirvikara. It is also known as the unmani state or the unmani avastha. And lot of realized masters, especially those who are, we call they are intoxicated, in the state of, they are in this unmani avastha. So what does this mean? Normally it is seen when I know Lewis, this thought called Lewis is a particular thought in my mind, and when I move that thought from Lewis to sofa, now the quality of that thought has changed. First it was in the womb of that thought was Lewis. Now all those characteristics about Lewis and what she stands for, what she is, a female, this, that, all that drops, and suddenly it has to cognize, or it moves to sofa, and it has to drop all that, and it has to take on. It has to drop the form, it has to drop the idea that Lewis is a conscious person with a body, with a form, with the way, senses, whom I can communicate to. I have to drop all that and come to the sofa. And what is sofa? Again, it is inert, but it has a different shape. So every thought, when it goes to the next thought, because at any given moment only one thought can appear in the mind. That's the rule. That's a different matter, that the speed of thought is so great that we think it is is the same idea. Ideas are many thoughts put together gives you an idea, isn't it? But only one thought at a time can appear in your mind, and every time the previous thought goes away and the next thought comes about, it has to have a different quality. It can never be exact duplicate of the previous one. It is impossible. So this is what we notice, that when when the thought moves from one object to the other object, there is thought modification, and it is called Vishaya Kara Vritti. Vishaya means object. Kara means that which has taken the form of Vritti, the thought. So depending upon the object that the thought is about, it takes that particular form. If this is understood, now what happens? Now you think about this from the meditation point of view also. Now what happens? Now before we go to the next, what happens? Even when you chant 2 ohms, Om, Om, no 2 ohms are similar. Why? Why they are not similar?